Then Jeanne starts telling us ghost stories. Jeanne, the woman I thought that did not like ghost stories. I'm like, Jeanne? Like, what? Like, sis, you good?
I'll never catch him while I'm this small. Curious butterflies.
You mean bread and butterflies?
Oh, yes, of course.
Why do I keep doing that wrong? Hello, what are you? Welcome back to another video. There we go. Today I'm gonna be telling you guys a story time. Yay. So, I mentioned this in my back to school closing haul video that my mom had to go to the hospital again. But I said it was no big deal or whatever. It still wasn't. I'm not changing my mind on that. But what we had to do was, this happened yesterday. My mom, we had 2 doctor's appointments because we've been having a lot of doctor's appointments to check up on her or whatever. And we also are going to be doing an update video soon. I'm so excited. Because it's really, really good. And my mom's going to be telling you firsthand stuff and everything. It's like a one-on-one interview from the actual person that had it. You could die, whatever. But basically, yesterday, we went to this one appointment, and my dad was being an actual child. He was looking at comic books and crap when we were in the waiting room. And, I was just on Instagram waiting for my mom to get out. And then we went to, my dad was like, okay, and we're going to go to Slice of Life after this, because, we wanted to try it because my one friend recommended it. And why can't I find my pocket? I want to put my hands in my pockets. And I was like, but we have to go to the hospital. And my dad's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, sis, we have to go to the hospital. So my mom comes out 1 minute later, and I'm like, she's like, okay, you guys ready to go? And my dad, and I looked at her and I said, Daddy didn't know that we had to go to the hospital. And she just went, he didn't, because I told him 50 times, which is true. So we drive to the hospital, which was right next door, because it was in the same, this was a building that was under the same people that the hospital's under, so it's all in the same area. We've been there 3 or 4 times this week. So we went to the hospital. Sorry, I always do that thing where I'm up on my feet and it really hurts. We went to the hospital, and what we did was, it's this area right next to the someone's texting me. 1 second. Sorry, my friend had to show me a picture. I don't know if she's gonna keep texting me, so I might have a few cuts. But oh, it's just she actually, wait 1 sec. We're probably gonna have to deal with one more cut because she might text me back. But where were we? The area where my mom had to go to was right next to the ER. I have so many stories, so many complaints about the ER that I want to tell you guys so bad, and I'll probably make a story time about it soon. If you guys want to hear about that, though, comment down below, because I hate the ER with a passion. The people there are I hate them. That's mostly the biggest problem. And the people in the actual hospital are amazing, so nice, love them. But the people in the ER, are you kidding me? Shut up. They need to learn to shut up, though. That's one of their main issues. Wait 1 sec. I told you guys she'd text me back. Okay, we should not have any more cuts. I think we're good. No, she's cool, though. If you're actually watching this video, which, she's one of the people who does watch my videos, I love you. But basically, there's this area right next to the ER where my mom had to go. So my dad dropped us off, and he went and found a parking spot. We go in. I did not know this, but apparently, I don't actually know how this lady's related to me, but I know she is because she's always at, our family reunions. But, she was there. She's cool. And then we got sent up to the 2nd floor, and it's so weird because what they have is a ground floor, a 1st floor, and a 2nd floor. So technically 3 floors. So what we had to do is we walked to this elevator, which was right next to the entrance, go up, walk down this hallway, then there's a waiting room, take a turn, go into the elevator, then you have an elevator to the 2nd floor, and then you get off. And they were she said this to me and my dad, oh, you guys, like, can't come in. And we're like, okay. And she's like, there's this tiny waiting room, so she left us in there. Here's a clip from that waiting room and from my Emma S. Behind the Scenes Instagram page.
And the train moved suddenly and decapitated him in the process.
Oh, wow, sounds like fun.
So the legend
Am I
goes
right?
that he stalks the train track.
Just hanging out in the hospital. And my dad, of course, found the remote to the TV. So he's switching through the channels. And the first thing I think I saw was like pawn shop type thing show. And I was like, oh, let's watch that. And he's like, no, I gotta find Little League. And I'm like, so keeps going through. And then my ghost story comes up. And I'm gonna cut that out. But I was like, no, we need to watch that. Because I've always like seen those shows. But like 100% sure my house is haunted right now. As you guys know, I've been going through that lately with Harriet. Hi, girly. What's up? I even saw an orb in that video. I think, like, if you go into my Emma S. Behind the Scenes. I'm gonna see behind this. It's something like that. You guys need to go follow that Instagram page, though. I posted a video of when I was watching some of my videos last night, because occasionally I like to watch my videos, respond to comments, stuff like that. I was watching that video, and I saw an orb, and I was like, So I posted that. You guys should definitely go check that out. Tell me if it was an orb or dust. Pretty 100% sure it's an orb. Also, the only other video I've seen orbs in is I filmed a video, I don't know why, but I can't find it ever. A medium blue is it's a protect. It's literally. Also, guys, I was just thinking it's probably not dust because we're literally cleaning my room. Like, it's been cleaned. So how would there be dust in there? Video where I talk about orbs. And there were orbs in the video. Explain that to me, sis. Please, please, please. Thanks. But, so she leaves us in this waiting room, and I was, like, texting my friend, same friend that was texting me, let's give her a fake name. Actually, do we need to? Because she's, like, you guys probably already know who she is, but, like, we're just gonna give her a fake name anyway. Should we? Should we not? I'm gonna cut this out. And what the heck, it's Ryan. You guys know who Ryan is. Yeah, I was texting Ryan, and, I was like, should we give her a fake name or no? We're calling her Ryan. But I was texting her, we might put up screenshots of, like, what I said, not what she said, because, like, I'm not going to do that, but, like, just what I said, so I can actually remember. Basically what happened is, we were sitting down. Actually, I might not put in screenshots. I might not. I don't know. It depends on what I feel like editing. And these two, like, probably 70, 80-year-old women come in, and there's this one who is, like, not at all down for my ghost story. That's the show we're watching, by the way. She looks up at, like, the TV, pretend like the TV's up there, and she's like, ugh. And her sister, I'm assuming this was her sister, they looked very much related, I think they were around the same age too, was like, ooh. And she started watching it, and I was like, texting Ryan, oh my god, I feel so bad for these two women, like, oh, they have to watch my ghost story with us. And, then that one lady who was not up for my ghost story at all, the nurse lady came in and, like, took her to her procedure. And this one lady, we're got to give her a fake name. Honestly, I want to call her Gina, what the heck am I saying today? Gina, because this one lady, like, the lady who was not up for my ghost story, she was, like, trying to make jokes that she got into Gina's Hulu, and I was like, shut up about freaking Gina's Hulu, no one, like, cares. Like, me, what are we gonna call her? Gina, not like Gina from Gina's Hulu. Gina, her sister, and my dad were like, my ghost story. And then, like, freaking weird lady who didn't like it was like, And I'm like, okay. But yeah, she goes through a procedure. And then, actually we should call her Gianne, just not to get confused. So Gianne, that's what we're gonna call her. So Gianne was sitting there, and I was like, oh, I feel so bad for her. Like, I felt really awkward that she had to watch this. And then she turns to me and my dad, and she literally makes a joke about ghosts. And I'm like, okay, wait a second, queen. So then my dad is impatient and cannot sit down for the life of him for more than 5 seconds. So he's getting up, like, all the time and going to walk around. So he leaves one time, and me and Gianne are sitting there. My ghost story's playing, duh. And we start hearing this, there's a window, so I hear somebody make the noise. freaking watching My Ghost Story. I don't know how scared, like, there are no words to say how scared me and Gian were, but Gian kind of, like, I have, like, out of impulse, I shake my leg, literally anxiety, like, every time I sit down, I shake my leg. I'm doing it right now. And I stopped doing it because I was, like, wondering if I started hitting something, like, that was the noise. It stopped for a second, and then we started hearing again. So then Gian looks at me with, like, she's looking at the TV, and she looks like, and I immediately said, I have no clue what that is. And I remember exactly what she said. She's like, I thought this young lady was trying to scare me. And I was like, oh my god, yes. But I was like, no, I wasn't. And she was like, she looked at me and she's like, it's the ghost of blank blank hospital. And I was like, busted out laughing. I was like, thank you. This woman understands my ghost story. Like, she understands this. So then, you know, she's, like, making, like, funny jokes all throughout, like, the shows or whatever. And then, other lady, we need to name her. We're gonna call her Martha. I don't know, like, that's the name that, like, came to my head first. But I was like, ooh, she really doesn't look like a Martha. But then, like, she kind of does look like a Martha. So we're gonna call her Martha. So Martha, who has, like, you know those oxygen things? Like, they go up. You know what I'm talking about. Martha had one of those, and I think she was actually going to get something done. I don't know if she was waiting for someone. But yeah, she came into the room, and I was like, oh god, not another woman, because then I'm going to feel bad. So Martha sits down, looks up at the TV, turns to us, and goes, ooh, I have some stories for you. And I'm like, sis, this woman is not about to be, like, telling me freaking ghost stories in a hospital room. In, like, a waiting room at the hospital. She starts, like, throwing out, like, ghost stories. Like, oh yeah, in this old house I used to live in New York, by the way, this is Martha talking, this guy, like, that we lived in this house, this guy fell down the stairs and died. We still heard every, once in a while, we heard, like, walking up and down the stairs when, like, no one was there. Thanks, Martha. Martha continues with, basically, she had a little bit of background that one of her cousins died. Remember, he has red hair. And I also have to come up with a fake name for him, by the way, too. But he died, and for some reason, her mom was like, okay, how are we gonna, like, split the money between his kids and stuff? They were figuring that out, and she's like, oh, it was something like that. My dad remembers it. I really don't that much. But she walks upstairs and goes to the bathroom, and she sees red mist coming out of the coat closet, and she said, okay, blank, that's what I'm gonna call him, I know what to do. Walks downstairs and said, no, I'm not going to do it. And she took care of the kids. Like, she'll give the money to them when they're older or whatever or something. It was, like, some weird money issue. And then Gian starts telling us ghost stories. Gian, the woman I thought that did not like ghost stories, goes, when I was in my house... Sorry, Gian. Oh my god, I'm so mean. Gian's like, when I was in my house, I woke up one night, just, like, out of the blue, and there's a guy, describes him perfectly. He was wearing jeans, the hat he was wearing, everything. And I said his name. This is Gian talking too. And I don't know, maybe she knew him. I was kind of, like, texting my friend all this because I didn't want to forget it. But she was like, yeah, I said his name, and then he went and disappeared. I was shooketh by Gian having a ghost story. But she was like, oh, I don't think it was a ghost. I think it was an apparition. And I'm like, Gian? Like, what? Like, sis, you good? And then my dad, who was like, me and him switched seats, like, at one point, he's like, oh, I see your mom. And I was like, no, I wanted to hear Gian and Martha's ghost stories. And I was like, after I walked out of that room, because I said bye to them, because like, I love those two. I was like, okay, bye. I was just like, but those are my ghost stories. Not mine, technically, but, like, these two older women who are telling me their ghost stories, and I'm literally, I love them, and I'm gonna miss them. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like, subscribe to the bell. If you guys, I still really want to film a video where I, like, go around my house at, like, 2 in the morning? I don't know, like, really late at night, and, like, hunt for ghosties. Like, Harriet, hi, sis. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe to the bell. See you in the next one. Bye.
Hey, it's Emma. Sorry for snatching the end of this video. I just wanted to shout out my dream interpretation series. You guys should definitely go watch it. It's all about finding out what dreams mean and what symbols mean in dreams. Thanks. Bye. Sometimes when I dream, I don't want to wake up. It's like I become someone else. It's like I'm unchained at last, experiencing life from new eyes. Every sense is heightened. I see a kaleidoscope of color. I feel every sound, hear every touch.